Good evening, everybody. I'm your host, Faye, and let me say I'm so excited to be here and share this moment with you tonight. Those of you who found us on Facebook through our group, EMT, Empowering Moments Together, thank you for coming. Those who have joined us from an invite or for word of mouth from one of your friends, thank you for joining. Just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I won't be taking up a lot of your time this evening, just about 20, 30 minutes. And I promise you that you'll walk away feeling elevated, enlightened, and seeing a new level of understanding for yourself. With each call, I always like to start off with gratitude. Melody Beatty said, gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, and a stranger into a friend. And a lot of successful people will tell you that they start the morning off in gratitude. I actually had my pastor tell us that the cure to stupidity is gratitude. And that was one of the most phenomenal things that we heard. It was also quite humorous. Because when you think about it, when you make decisions, sometimes we're just not grateful for the opportunity. And in that, we forget to be grateful that we are able to go through the opportunity and learn so much more about ourselves. So on tonight, we're going to talk about asking the right questions in order to get to know yourself. You think about your day. There's several times that you question, what am I doing? Why am I thinking this? Why did that person do that? And why am I letting it impact me? How do I feel about this person who just almost hit me on the road? Why do I keep going to this job and I'm not happy? Who am I really? When I'm by myself, I like dancing and singing, but nobody knows. When I'm by myself, I like painting, or at least I think I do. I watch it all the time. I'm really intrigued by it. I love looking at everyone else's. I just want to try. Why haven't I tried? Why haven't I taken the opportunity to do something different? And I want you to ask yourself, what benefit comes from asking these questions? Because there truly is a benefit. Every time a question arises in your mind, it's a deeper part of yourself saying, hey, I'm here. Listen to me. Give me some attention. But we get so caught up in everything that's happening around us, we don't really listen to the answers that's coming from right inside of us. We give in to the feeling or the emotion, what our friends are telling us, what our coworkers are telling us, what our job is demanding of us, and we forget that ourself is so important. I have a 7-year-old son, and those of you with children know, they wake up asking questions. They go to sleep asking questions. I promise you that sometimes in their sleep, they get up just to ask a question or they mumble a question because they don't know a lot about this world. They don't know a lot about themselves. They are in a state of constant discovery without fear of the answer. And as we've gotten older, somehow we got this fear factor about the answer to our questions. Am I on the right track? What if you're not? Then what do you do? Who do you ask for help? What track are you supposed to be on? You're the best secretary that people know of, but you hate it. You feel bored. You feel like you have other talents that can be used. But you don't want to ask because you get so many accolades, you're comfortable. Who am I? What if you discover that only being a sister or a brother is not who you are? What happens when you really sit down and you take off all the hats of being a parent, being a friend, being a mother, being a father, being a mentor, being a coach, being an athlete, being a singer or a model or a writer, and you're only left with you? That question comes up as to, why am I here? You start to ask yourself, who am I? Why am I here? And a lot of people will tell you, you have a divine purpose. I agree. You're here to change the lives of yourself, your family, and those around you. I agree. You're here to make a difference. Right. But how? This is why it's so important for you to sit by yourself and really just be still. Be quiet. Allow all the thoughts and feelings about everything that's happened to just flow. We'll call it observing. It's where you're sitting there and you think about how your boss gave you a mean face, but you hadn't said anything to him or to her. You tried to say good morning, they didn't respond. You emailed, you didn't get a response. And you personalize it. When you're sitting there in silence and that moment goes through your mind, you simply observe it. And you understand that was their choice. You start to recognize, hey, I hadn't even seen them before they gave me this space. We hadn't had a disagreement. I've done everything that was asked of me. I've come early. I'm dressed properly. I'm pleasant. Wow. Wow, it wasn't me that made them feel that way. I am not responsible for their responses. I'm responsible for my responses and my feelings to take care of myself. And when you take time to do that, you realize that in asking these questions, you start to gain clarity. You start to understand how you process your environment. You start to understand how you might make connections between feeling overly upset because someone got hurt in that time when you were young and you got hurt and no one cared. Or how when you got hurt, everyone was there for you. Everyone supported you, made sure that you were okay. They made sure that if you needed a Band-Aid, you had one. They wiped your scrape, and then they comforted you, which is why you get so passionate about people not having that same comfort, because you know what it's like to have it, and you can't imagine what it feels like to not have. You start to understand how when things don't go exactly how you want, you get totally discombobulated. You start to go everywhere. Your mind starts to be random. You start to make small mistakes. You start speeding and running lights and tripping over things and losing things that are still in your hand. You just forgot it's there. Then you realize, oh, my goodness, I don't deal with things being out of my control. I have to learn that I can't control everything, and that's okay. And you start to become okay with these situations. You start to change your mindset just by being quiet and taking some time with yourself. It's so easy to get caught up in the rat race, as they call it, of life. It's so easy to get caught on a schedule. It's so easy to oblige yourself to other people's needs and wants. But every time a question comes up that relates back to I, yourself is saying, hey, you, I need you to oblige yourself to me. I need you. You need you. You know, Brian Tracy said, the greatest gift that you can give to others is the gift of unconditional love and acceptance. I'd like to expand upon that and say, the greatest gift that you can give yourself is unconditional love and acceptance. But to do that, you have to be comfortable spending time with you. You have to sit in a quiet moment with you. There's a big difference between being alone and being lonely. See, being lonely means you don't think anybody's there for you. You don't have anyone in your phone, nobody. We're not talking about 1 or 2 contacts, 0 contacts. You don't have any friends on social media. You don't talk to anyone at work. No one asks how you're doing. And you feel just by yourself. It's just you can't reach out. And notice I said feel, because even if that's the situation, you don't have to be lonely, because you always have yourself, which is why being alone is so powerful and so changing. When you're alone, have you considered asking, am I being honest with myself? If you have a piece of paper and a pen, which I hope you do, I want you to take the next couple of moments and just answer these 3 small questions about being honest with yourself. And I want you to be honest. You don't have to share it with anybody. It's just you and you. I'm going to take you on a journey with yourself. And this is something that you can do in that alone time to get closer to you, to love more about you, to accept more about you. So the first question is, I was. Like when I was little, I was so outgoing. I had a lot of trying situations. Honestly, I did. Every moment wasn't happy, but I was a happy child. I was active. I was a teacher. I was always involved, and I was always talking all the time. And I wasn't scared to try new things until I fell doing a round-off and hit my head. And then I learned about being precautious. So take a minute with the first question and just think about, I was. You can even go to adulthood. I was an alcoholic, but I'm not today. I was vindictive, but I'm not today. I was a liar, but I'm not anymore. Or maybe I was outgoing, but I'm not today. Just take a moment and reflect on that. All right, the next question is, I hide, and you're being honest with yourself. What is it that you hide? Do you hide that you really do want a big house, but your friends make you feel like it's not okay to want more? Do you hide that you really don't like socializing? You really do just like sitting down and reading, but because you don't have time, you started telling yourself, oh, I don't like that. I'm too busy for that. That's something in my past. Do you hide that sometimes when you're by yourself, you cry over situations that you told people you're over, but you're really not? Do you hide how frustrated you are with your job, with your family, with your friends? You just, I'll get over it. I'll let it go. But it's always in the back of your mind how they didn't come through for you, or how when you call them, they're not always available, but they always want you to be there. Or that party you had last week and everyone said they were coming and only 2 people showed up. Oh, I'm okay. I'm good. Or there's some habits that you have that you don't want anyone to know about. because you feel some type of shame or guilt about it? What is it that you hide? And if you're ready, what do you hide from yourself? Do you hide that you're really sad when you're happy looking? When you look in the mirror, do you see that you're beautiful, or do you hide from your own beauty, from your own strength, from your own abilities? Take a moment for that, please. And the last question, I am. Who are you now? And you can think about your roles. You can think about your interests. You can think about your feelings of yourself. But who are you? And if you don't know, just put I am question mark. I'm still figuring it out. You're not by yourself. And as you were thinking about it, you know the word because starts coming up. I did this because. I hide this because. I'm an awesome person because. I'm a great friend because. I'm a wonderful father because. I'm a supportive spouse because. The because is helping you define yourself. That's the self that I want you to get in touch with. That because. I am always laughing because I enjoy seeing other people smile. I hide because I want people to respect me, and I want to be the type of person that people respect based on what I think a respectable person is. I was passive because I was scared of hurting other people's feelings. And I was empathetic to how they may feel. Now, I went through that kind of quickly. But one thing I want you to do after this call, whether it's tonight, tomorrow, or this weekend, preferably tonight, I want you to go stand in front of your mirror. Just stand in front of the mirror and look yourself eye to eye for at least 3 minutes. No words, no writing, no nothing, no music. Just 3 minutes of silence of you and you looking at yourself into yourself. Straight eye contact. And then after those 3 minutes, I want you to write down as much as you can remember that came to your mind. And I want you to accept your truth without bashing yourself. Accept everything about yourself that you saw in yourself when you looked in that mirror. Then I want you to go back and look at yourself again and remind yourself, saying, I love me because I am all my experiences and more. I love me because I've overcome all my experiences and more. I love you because you're me. I am powerful. I accept myself. I love myself. And I give myself the gift of unconditional love. You know, the first step towards change is awareness. So this exercise is all about awareness, awareness of self. The second step is acceptance. And I'm not saying it's going to happen instantly, in a flash, like turning on a light switch. But you're going to start the process of being aware of yourself, taking more time for yourself, and accepting everything about yourself without judgment. You're not going to say, oh, my God, I was so terrible then. You're going to say, that's who I was. Because if you weren't that person, you wouldn't be who you are today. It only takes 1 second to change your life. One decision, one phone call, one word, one action. I'm just asking you to take 180 to embrace yourself. And write down the word faith. You can remember this. Faith. It's about freeing yourself from judgment and recognizing that you are wonderful just the way you are. And if you want to change, that doesn't mean that you're not wonderful today. It just means you want to be a better you. Accept. Accept everything about you. Everything about your environment. Accept that you like it. Accept that you don't. And accept that you have the ability to change it or to change the way that you embrace it. C, challenge. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to be exactly who you want to be, to make time to read those books, to make time to go to the park, to speak up for yourself and stop accepting what other people say to you, but do it in a way that's still graceful. Challenge yourself to spend more time with yourself and actually hear your voice and learn your voice. And E, elevate. Always, always affirm yourself. Always encourage yourself. Always reward yourself. Because at the end of the day, you always have you. And only you know what you want, which is why you're going to listen to yourself. I want to thank you for joining me on tonight, joining all of us tonight. If you like what you heard, please post in EMT, Empowering Moments Together. And I'm going to do it on this call. For everyone who joined the call or who saw us on Facebook, the complimentary one-on-one session, the breakthrough session, where we have a time to interact and to really dive in deeper on accepting and loving you in order to transform your life. I'm going to extend it to the end of this month, but you have to email me tonight. As soon as you hear this call, email me and say, hey, I want my breakthrough call. And my email is aquillafaye@aquillafaye.com. That's AquillaFaye@AquillaFaye.com. You can also send me a message through the group EMT, Empowering Moments Together, or on my page, Aquilla Faye, which is Facebook.com/Path to You. PATHTOYOU. I hope that all of you have a wonderful week, a wonderful weekend. I look forward to talking to you again. And for those who this is your very first call with me, one thing that everybody knows is we always breathe in and out with gratitude. Breathing in, thank you for this moment. Breathing out, thank you again. And when you get stressed or confused, just take those same deep breaths, and I promise it will change your perspective in your life. Have a wonderful night. God bless. If you have any questions, please post them in the EMT Empowering Moment Together. And what I'll do for you all, we have about 7 minutes. I'm going to end the call and open up the line for questions, just in case some of you have a question right now that you really want answered.